Hey everyone, Rich Bennett here. I'm excited to tell you about something we're doing for National Recovery Month. Here at Conversations with Rich Bennett, we're holding a special event called the Podathon For Recovery, 12 Days of Hope. For 12 consecutive days, we'll release a new episode dedicated to powerful conversations about addiction, recovery, and hope. And we're doing this to raise vital funds for an incredible nonprofit, Rage Against Addiction. They are on the front lines providing sober living homes, recovery coaching, and essential support to families. We believe recovery is a journey worth celebrating, and your support can make a tangible difference. Every donation, no matter the size, goes directly to them, helping to save lives and provide a second chance. So please join our mission. You can start donating right now. Simply go to conversationswithrichbennett.com and you'll see the donation thing right there so you can donate and help these women in recovery. Welcome to a special episode of Conversations with Rich Bennett. This is a part of our Podathon for Recovery, 12 Days of Hope, our mission to raise money for Rage Against Addiction. My co-host Wendy Beck and I will be sharing powerful stories of addiction, recovery, and resilience to help break the stigma and show that hope is always possible. Your support helps Rage Against Addiction provide life-changing resources, and you can donate right now by visiting our GoFundMe link in the show notes. We are so grateful you've joined us on this important journey. Now let's get into today's conversation. How you doing, Evie?
Hi, Evie.
Thank you. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, nice to meet you.
When we talked online, and correct me if I'm wrong, you said 44 years, right?
Yes, 44 years. 1st of March, it was 44 years of clean and sober, not a drop of alcohol, not even back remedies. I don't know if you're familiar, it's a German remedies. They work for anxiety and sleep and
Right.
but they are those are just flowers basically, but they are in alcohol, so I never touch them. Even everybody over there has the back remedies in there.
So actually, how old were you when the addiction started?
I would say the addiction started when I was born. I think there is a predestined condition. What happened to my family was horrible. My grandfather died in Auschwitz. My mother was hidden for 6 years. My grandmother was very lucky because she was a very, very good seamstress. Today we would say she was a fashion designer, and she worked for the opera singers who were very busted.
Yeah.
And so she made them their street clothes and their evening clothes, nothing for the stage, just
right.
for life. And so they needed her. And so my grandmother still worked, very hidden, but still, she was not in danger to be deported, but my mother was. And my father was in the resistance, and there was a whole group that protected basically my mother and my grandmother.
Wow.
And so after the war, anti-Semitism in Austria is still, as it is here. It's a topic. But as a child, I felt very much ostracized. And I was an only child, and my parents worked. I was a latchkey child. And I warmed the soup on the stove by the age of 5.5 years.
Wow.
And, I was totally independent. And my parents thought this was normal. It wasn't normal because when I was 7, I peed in my pants all the time. So
wow.
Because of stress And I think this is when it started.
Right.
I bought, other kids bought candies, for a dime at the time. And I bought cigarettes. I smoked in the
At 7.
At 8, yeah.
Oh, at 8. Wow.
Yeah. And, that was solace for me. And I was always rebellious as a child, but I was a very, very good and very smart, good student and very smart. So I got away with a lot, and I tutored left and right, made money.
How old were you when you were tutoring?
14.
Wow.
And I always had a love for fashion, so what I earned then went into shoes and purses.
Wow.
A habit I still have. And then I married very young, my high school sweetheart, and he was also genetically challenged. He was an alcoholic. He was a juvenile alcoholic. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And I became an Al-Anon. I became very, very codependent with him. We were very symbiotic. I covered up for him all the time. And I thought he has a problem. Wow, it's really true. And we got divorced when we both were 27. And then I started my own journey into alcohol. But it was not as severe at the time. I did not think I had a problem. I liked to be a little bit on the lighter side, let's say, put it this way. But in 1973, I had a car accident, a severe car accident. And I had PTSD. Nobody knew that there was something like PTSD at the time, especially not in Austria. And that was the time, 74, 75, 76, when the psychopharmaca came on the market. It was not just Valium or Prozac, there were other pills. And I became a guinea pig.
Oh,
The
God.
psychiatrist who worked with me had always a new candy. And I tried it, and then it didn't work. And then I mixed it with alcohol. I still worked, and actually I was very successful, which I to this day don't understand. How the drugs and the alcohol did not knock me out.
Right.
I was functioning, unhappy, and I smoked a lot.
Talking about cigarettes still, right?
Yeah, the cigarettes.
Okay, yeah.
I never had marijuana. That didn't interest me, and I never did a street drug either.
Right.
They were not as available in Austria than they were here. But those those prescription drugs, they were,
And those prescription drugs and alcohol, a lot of times for a lot of people have led to the harder things.
Did not, no.
Yeah, for you it didn't, which is good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think it was in summer of Evie. I was in Israel, and when in Israel I was really miserable. Didn't have my drugs, and I felt very sick. And when I came back to Vienna, I had a feeling I had to stop. I didn't know what. So I went to an acupuncturist, and we went through the trauma of my car accident. And he relieved some of the trauma with hypnosis. And I thought, oh, wait, this is really great.
Can I ask a question? Did you know that you were addicted, or did you have any idea that was what was going on?
in 1980, when I came back from Israel, a book fell into my hands. It is always a coincidence. And it was written by a German journalist who was married to an alcoholic. And she described her journey as the wife of an alcoholic, recovering up. And I had 2 more boyfriends after my divorce who were also alcoholics. So I did not get out of
you couldn't get away from it.
no. And she was talking about a different disease. I will never forget that term, the different disease. Yeah, I might have this disease. Yeah. So it was not clear. That was not a time when every other article in the newspaper or in the wellness magazine was about addiction. It was not.
Right.
So this book was really my portal into recovery. And this last boyfriend, number 3, and I had a huge altercation. It was terrible. Police came. And this it was in the paper because I was a well-known actress, and all the gossip columns and stuff. And I knew this is not me. I live a life that is not my life.
Right.
That after the police came and so on, oh God, it was horrible. And so we decided, we were talking after that incident when we were sober again, and said, we are alcoholics. And a few days before that, I had a spiritual awakening. That was on March 12th. I was waiting for him at night. I was standing at the window and I looked out. It was snowing. March 12th is the time when it snows in Vienna. And a voice told me, if you don't stop what you're doing, you will not live longer than 6 months. And this voice was not me, because I would have said half a year. It was not my diction to say 6 months. And I became very quiet. I went to bed. I didn't take a pill, nothing. I slept. And next morning, he didn't come home. Next morning, I grabbed the newspaper, and over there, it is customary that you look at the weather report every day because the weather changes, can change.
Yeah, like here.
Yeah, no, not in Los Angeles so much, but where you are, probably. So I looked at the weather report, and underneath the weather report was a tiny little ad. It said Alcoholics Anonymous, and listed the meetings, the times, the addresses. And I looked at it and said, this is who I am. I'm not an Al-Anon. I am an alcoholic. And then Thomas came at one point, and I said, I want to go to an AA meeting. It was the 13th of March. And the 14th was a Saturday. And he said, I go first. I check it out. And then you can go. Or we can go together. I said, okay, check it out. There's another one on Sunday, so I can go on Sunday. So he came home with the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and he said, yes, we are alcoholics. That's clear.
Wow.
So next day, I went to a different meeting. There was an old man, in my view, he was about 60, and a drunk, clochard, as we call them, like a homeless person, down on his luck. And he was sleeping and snoring. And I was talking. And the man at the end said, listen, don't know if your boyfriend told you, but we are only men. There are no women.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's interesting.
And he said, you cannot come in our group. You tear the group apart. This is not possible. You have to go to Al-Anon. He did not know that I would tear the Al-Anon group apart because they became so codependent with me. Everybody wanted to rescue me. They picked me up. They drove me back home. They baked cookies for me. They did everything so I would stay sober. And they totally forgot why they were there. They were there for me. And I
That's amazing.
hijacked this poor group of nice women, really nice, but I played them like a fiddle, as alcoholics do. And there's no difference between alcoholic women or alcoholic men. Alcoholics, especially in early sobriety or as long as they are practicing, they manipulate people.
Right.
They are the masters. We are, most of us are charming, are smart, and we walk in a room and we know this one, and this one will fall for my shenanigans. So this whole Al-Anon group did, and then the wife of uh, the guy who was kind of running the show, she said, "This is enough. You go to AA or you start drinking again. We have enough of you." So okay, I went to AA, and that was good because I didn't know men. I was in an all girls school,
Right.
and there was another parallel school with boys, and that's how I found my later husband and my boyfriend. But
Wow.
Were there
the
women's meetings at that time?
the AA in Austria, in Vienna at the time, there were two groups. The one that I went first was in a church, and there were never more than 3 people
Oh,
or
wow.
4. And the other one was bigger, there were men. And then there was an international meeting where all the expats went. That was in English, and I went to that meeting also. That was more sophisticated than the Austrian meetings, I have to say.
An
Because
international one?
yeah, they were all Americans, and they
Oh,
got sober
wow.
in America. They had jobs. Usually they were singers. We have many opera houses, and opera singers came, and show business people mainly, and Americans, and got sober in AA wherever,
Right.
Los Angeles or New York. And they were sophisticated, and I thought I fit right in. But also I'm Austrian. I was called back to the Austrian meeting. I stayed sober, which is really was really an accomplishment. And I got a scholarship to study at the Lee Strasberg Institute in Los Angeles for 6 months. I got it from
Oh,
the
wow.
Austrian Ministry of Education, and I said I have to go because I have to go to AA meetings.
Right.
And fortunately, I arrived on July 1st, 82, and I immediately went to a AA meeting, and it didn't take long that I stayed in a sober living house. It was good. It was very, very good.
Yeah.
Went to meetings every day, women's stags mainly. And then also to speakers meetings, and then slowly got into mixed meetings, which were hard for me because I was a sex addict underneath.
Wait, how many different addictions did you have, Evie?
I had an addiction to prescription drugs and definitely to sex.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So we know for Okay, you have NA and AA.
Only
For
AA. NA, I did not qualify. I went to NA meetings. They were heroin addicts, and I could not
all right, but
relate.
where do you go for sex addiction?
Oh, there is for women, it's sex and love addiction. But I'm not
Really?
addicted. I'm not addicted to love. So I left that group and I said, okay, I go to the sex addiction meetings. And we were again maybe 2 or 3 women there, and the rest were men. And it was such a sobering experience, as it was already in Vienna. I got I, I got a glimpse about men in my early sobriety. Then I forgot about it. But when I was in the sex meetings, I really got to know men. I like
Mm-hmm.
men, but I'm not addicted to men anymore. I got after 3 years, I was the treasurer of the meeting. I was the for a while. I got the speakers. I was very involved in Sex Addicts Anonymous, and I'm very grateful for this meeting, for this program,
Right.
because after 3 years, I I knew I would never fall for an alcoholic. I would never fall for a sick relationship, and I understand men very well, but I don't fall for them. So I have been without a relationship in sobriety for 40 years.
Oh, so
Yes.
you've been in the same relationship for 40 years? Is that what you said?
No,
Oh.
the relationship is with me.
Oh, yes.
I have
Oh,
not
With
had a
yourself, right?
relationship with a man.
that's beautiful. So did your recovery
Wow.
journey did that bring you to some of the things that you do in your profession now, because you do a lot of therapeutic type of things? Yes. And
I knew,
how has it changed from then till now, like your journey in helping people?
yeah, I went back only to AA meetings after my adventures as a Sex Addicts Anonymous. And then I sponsored many, many women over the years. I was a journalist. I got a very good job with an Austrian publishing house. I interviewed everybody and anybody. I interviewed um, uh, the guy who died, not now, who was on Friends.
Oh, Matthew Perry?
Yeah, Matthew Perry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Matthew Perry.
interviewed him many times, and we talked about AA, we talked about recovery.
Mm.
We had all these deep, deep conversations, and I never
Wow.
thought he would go back again. I thought he would
Mm.
stay sober. What did I know? Anyway,
Wow.
the job was very consuming. I had to write an article basically every day. I wrote for 6 magazines, but I always had time for helping people. And then I was guided to USM, University of Santa Monica, for the spiritual psychology program, and I graduated from there. That was very good. And in 2014, I started my practice as a life coach, as a hypnotherapist. And more, I would say my specialty and what I'm doing best is helping people, men or women,
Mm-hmm.
with sexual dysfunctions. And what I also have specialized is with very, very heavy people, 250 plus to 400 pounds.
I
And
used to be in that category.
wow.
Weight wise, not anymore though.
Yeah, no, I don't see it. And that, especially with women, there was a study that was Kaiser that 90% of these women were sexually abused
Oh, gee.
in their childhood. And so this is my specialty. I'm not, it takes a while until they open up,
Yeah.
but once they open up and the water can flow, we have really a chance of recovery, of losing the weight and become who they always wanted to be.
And I guess in a way, a lot of that goes hand in hand with, because you're helping them with weight loss, the sexual dysfunction, anxiety, depression, I guess, and it all can lead back to addiction.
Or abuse,
Or abuse. Yeah.
abuse, yeah. I had one client also, he lost 60 pounds with me. That was the other way around. He was a bully as a child. And he bullied kids and beat them up.
Mm-hmm.
And he lived with guilt over that. So
Wow.
can go in different directions.
All right. I always like to ask this question because now, I mean, you've turned everything around to where you're helping others. Can you share a feel-good story of somebody that you've actually helped out that was in addiction?
Well,
And I know there's several, but
so many. We call it in AA an Eskimo, and I pride myself to be an Eskimo.
okay.
Because it takes a lot of sensibility. You cannot walk up to somebody who has a drinking problem and you see they have a drinking problem
Mm-hmm.
or an addiction problem and say, "Hey, I'm going to an AA meeting. You want to come with me?" And they say, you know what they say.
Right.
But you have to be very careful. You have to get to know the person, not as a client, but as a person. I would not go that far that I befriend everybody, but I
Right.
try to be honest with them. Doesn't mean that I have to tell the story everybody. That's not necessary, but they need to feel from me that I come from my heart, and not
Right.
from any agenda. And then at one point I can say, AA or OA or Sex Addicts would maybe be a good program for you. And I take you there. So I take them. I sit with them, and if they are men, I find immediately a sponsor for them, and then I say goodbye.
But that's the good thing is, and you mentioned something right there, with you, it's coming from your heart when you're helping these people. And that's important because we know there are some people out there that it's not really coming from their heart. Some of them are doing it for the money or whatever. But when it's coming from your heart, it makes a huge difference.
Curious about how the recovery, I guess, movement is today versus how it was when you started, and how can you see that in like the people the women that you sponsor and that type of thing. I know there's a lot more recovery resources available, but can you give us a little, like, I guess, a little story about how you saw the change and when it really started to change?
I would say 10 years ago, when we have more self-help books than literature, and everybody has read self-help books, and very often they're very confused. They're confused by what they've read, what they learned, and very often they also become know-it-all. That's the worst part of it.
Yeah.
She was a poster child of sobriety, and now she's back to alcohol. And she does exactly what all my sponsees, clients, everybody does. Rationalizing that they are not alcoholics. They can drink socially. They don't want to live a life that is restricted and restricted to Perrier. Or in my case, when I go out, I have a Perrier, and that's it. and nobody looks funny anymore. I had to defend myself always, why I'm not drinking, and I made up a liver disease. Of course not ever had, but yeah, can't not. My liver is like compromised.
Ooh.
I can only have the Perrier. But I have what she's now talking. It's so classic that at one point they think they miss out on life.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my clients wanted to convince me that I'm not an alcoholic either. I mean, I hear that a lot. They cannot imagine that I am an alcoholic in 44 years. You can have it, just a little bit. No, thank you.
No.
But they fall into this, There's life to live.
We've come a long way in the recovery
Oh,
world,
we have.
and it's interesting to hear someone who has been in recovery for so long that they can share their story with us. So thank you, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Evie, something very important. Tell people how they can get in touch with you.
Oh, the easiest is my website, www.coachevilsullivan.com. Here you have different pages where I describe what I do: weight loss, smoking cessation. Smoking is. Can I talk about smoking?
Sure,
yes,
go ahead.
absolutely.
It's a psychological addiction. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. If it would be a physical addiction, we would have rehab clinics on every corner. But it does not. The withdrawal does not affect you physically. You can have headaches or something, but not like with alcohol and drugs, that you have to be supervised by a doctor, that you have to be in a rehab clinic. That you cannot do this alone because it's too dangerous. And my experience with smokers is interesting. They call me and they want to know, how many sessions and what it costs and so on. And if I'm booked and I cannot take them right away, and we schedule an appointment for the next day, they never ever show up. They have another package of cigarettes, and then they say, "Oh, I do it at Christmas, maybe Easter, or God knows." You have to nail them immediately. And when they say it's the money and so, okay, I pick payments, but let's start now, because this is the only time they are receptive to stop smoking.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is the vaping. That they have.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that's very bad. That is a whole. We don't even know the damage that's going to cause in the future.
Oh yes, the new the.
It's already out. Yeah.
Yeah. The medical journal, the New England Medical Journal, had a wonderful article that I give them. Impotence is very much tied to the vaping. When they come to me with ED, my first question is, do you vape? It's always yes.
How about for women? Okay. What about for women?
For women, it affects the fertility.
Huh. Why?
Interesting.
Did they know why?
I would think the metal and all in it.
And those aroma substances and mixed with tobacco and God knows what else. Bad. That's bad.
It's people don't, because these vapes, the vapes are who created them first? The tobacco companies. I mean, it's crazy. The oils, and I think it's something with the it's like aluminum or metal shavings that get into your body. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's tearing people's lungs up.
Yeah, I did see a little bit of that, yes.
It's scary. It's very scary.
So stay with the cigarettes. So have your Marlboro if you need to.
And keep in mind, remember, because, well, before it was the vape, it was what, the e-cigarette?
Oh, yeah.
And what were they designed for? To help people quit smoking. Well, it took them from, but you're still, I think it went from one thing to a worse thing. In all honesty, I think they're going to find that, and they're already starting to find out. Vaping is going to hurt people a lot faster than smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
It
It really
is.
is.
And some of these things have antifreeze in
A lot of
them.
young people are vaping and they don't even realize the problem that they're going to have.
Nope. Well, keep in mind too, Wendy. Well, maybe not you, but I remember when I was younger. Evie, you probably remember this. With cigarettes, because the ads were how it helped you.
The slim.
Yeah.
No? I have always been into fashion. So you can imagine when the slim came out. I had a holder. I had a black holder. My father always said, "Why are you smoking? You're not inhaling." I had it for fashion reasons.
It was an accessory. Yes.
It was not the cigarette so much, but and at home I didn't smoke. I had I had all kinds of cigarette holders, shorter ones and longer ones, and very elegant ones, and ivory ones.
Evie, before I get to my last question, unless Wendy's got another question, is there anything you would like to add?
Yes. I want to add that I have lived a very healthy life without seeing, I'm going to animal, but I haven't had anything. I have been mainly happy. Life has ups and downs, but I was spared of horrible downs. And the ups are also even. So I'm not really designed for roller coasters anymore. Sobriety helps you to be even keeled.
Yes, I agree with that. Takes out the drama.
I love that line. You're not designed for roller coasters anymore. I love that. Wow. Wendy, do you have anything before I get to my last question?
No, I don't.
All right. So, Evie, if you did not go to that meeting and find sobriety, where do you think you would be today?
6 feet under.
Really? Well, thank God that you are not, and you are here. And I want to thank you for helping others that, are in addiction, along with everything else that you're helping them with. And, congratulations as well for, 44 years, right? That's amazing. Amazing. So, Evie, thanks so much.
Thank you. It was really nice meeting you.
Thank you. Thank you both. It was a pleasure and an honor to having you.
Thank you.
Having me on.
Thank you so much.
Wendy, I understand that Rage Against Addiction is doing something very important, a monthly donor program. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. We are hoping to get our supporters to join us in providing a monthly donation. It can be $5 or it can be more. Whatever you can afford really allows us to help plan and increase our fundraising efforts.
Well, why should people become a monthly donor? What are they doing to help?
Their monthly contributions let us plan for long-term projects and respond quickly when urgent needs arise. And I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
We had the need for a new mattress.
Right.
And we've also had urgent needs for refrigerators and washing machines and all of that kind of stuff that comes up. So they tend to need to be replaced, and our women deserve to have the things that they need.
So with the monthly donor program, technically anybody can do it for any amount, and because Rage Against Addiction always needs something. And
Yes.
I've known you for years now, and there's times you've told me you guys needed furniture, you need clothes, and also you're not getting the grants that you used to or the contributions that you used to. So this monthly donor program would definitely help a lot.
Yes.
So if somebody becomes a monthly donor, is there anything that they're getting in return? Besides, of course, helping those that need it. I know you guys have an excellent newsletter. Would they automatically be subscribed to
we'll
that?
subscribe you to our newsletter so you'll know what's going on. You can kind of track our progress, hear success stories, know the data and like how many women we serve each year, and just be a part of something bigger.
So with this too, I guess they're also going to be, because of the newsletter, they're going to be one of the first ones to find out about events coming up like the Memory Walk and Run, the Basket Bingo, and any other future events that you're doing, the podcast that you do.
Yes.
So they're going to be tied in right away.
Yes.
All right. So how can they become a monthly donor?
You can go to our website, and that is rageagainstaddiction.org, and go to our donate button. And on there, you will have the option to become a monthly donor, and you can put in any amount that you want. Your commitment, big or small, empowers our mission and changes lives every single day. Visit us at rageagainstaddiction.org to become a reoccurring donor and join us in making a lasting impact. Thank you for your compassion, generosity, and belief in a brighter future. Together, we can make a difference. Join us today.